Welcome back again to our monthly favorite show, Even Journal number 4. And today we have Will back here with us again, just to keep it chill, talking about all the things that have been happening in the last month. We have had quite a month in the past few weeks, so plenty to talk about. But welcome, Will.
Hi there.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Will was on the move one more time, this time to Japan, and actually speaking at TEAMZ. Can you talk a little bit more about the event?
Yeah, the reason we went to the TeamZ event is because ever since we launched, obviously the product is sold globally. We're getting recognized globally, but we wanted to pay a special shout out to our Japan community. Like the sales has been going through our expectation in Japan, but more importantly, we have a really vibrant developer community coming from Japan. I think, yeah, right now some of the best apps built on Even Hub are coming from the Japanese developer community. Yeah, and also a lot of them are really proactively reaching out to us. So I wanted to really take this opportunity to physically be there, to be with the developers, and also be at events to share our vision and also see what they think about the product. So it was a really fun experience. It was a sort of a Web3 event. A lot of developers are there. A lot of AI related stuff are getting talked there. And I was able to share our vision about how agentic AI is going to come into making even G2 or R1 a better product. Very luckily, I actually got to meet up with one of the developer from Japan, the gentleman who built the Mirror Video, which is one of my favorite app. And yeah, we were able to actually talk through the translate our glasses and was able to exchange thoughts. So it was a really fun experience.
Being in Japan, definitely use Translate, Navigate. And I wonder, how did Conversate do while you were there? The first time you had prep notes going to like a kind of like a panel type of like.
Yeah, so that was really, really fun. I had the panel, and before the panel, our moderator was actually kind enough to prepare sort of a prep note. So I actually just downloaded that and put it into my Conversate and saved it as a prep note. So on stage, I had my Conversate on the whole time, and the topic was about agentic AI. And I actually had the chance to have Conversate tell me about some of the questions the host was asking. I remember particularly there was one question. It was not asked to me. It was asked to another panel speaker. But Conversation has already gave me the answer before that guy started to answer, and it was exactly the same what they said. Yeah, so it was really, really fun.
But as we were talking about Even Hub and all the crazy like fun enthusiasm coming from Japan, I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about the launch. We have seen a lot of good feedback initially as well from the developers, both the developer and the users, and I think the overall sentiment was really excited and high. But we do have a lot of things to fix.
I think the overall preparation stage for launching Even Hub is definitely exciting. We were able to get a lot of developers on board. We have a lot of plugins coming out. But I think we kind of, in the process, got carried away a little bit, that we mainly focused on how many apps we're going to have instead of how to really create a good enough experience for not only the developers, but also for our actual customers who probably don't develop, but still wanted to really try out new experience, right? Which for them, things needs to be way more mature to be useful. Yeah, so I think that's something that we neglected during the process. So yeah, some of the issue we were discussing internally that should be really well fixed before we launch, like the background refresh, like how you can activate and quit just from the glasses. I think were definitely misses, and we fixed them, like I think last week. Yep.
Yeah, we did. We pushed
Yeah,
a new
yeah.
update.
But yeah, still I see a lot of improvements that we need to make.
Definitely.
So I think moving forward, we wanted to commit to the community. We are trying our best and the fastest to get things out there. It's also our first time building an ecosystem, but also please bear with us if we make many mistakes. The team is sitting behind it, really hardworking to try to fix everything. Your support will pretty much mean everything for us. Yeah. So yeah, really thank you guys for being through this journey with us.
Exactly that. And just to add on to that, and we're working on a whole new infrastructure that will be able to support these operations a little bit better. So we're separating the rendering and the process. When we're talking about the QA side of things, we're automating that process a little bit more so that the pipeline can get a lot faster. As we're talking about all these exciting improvements to the SDK for the Eva Hub, there's another exciting tool that we're providing to other developers as well, which is the terminal. You're going to be able to visualize the session right in front of your face as the screen. So I wonder if you have some thoughts on that before we dive into.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to also explain to the community why we're building this, because essentially, like from my last trip to the Valley, I think a month ago, and I actually got to meet with some of the um, like frontier researchers from the AI labs and also from some of the biggest AI companies. The latest trend of how people build is actually not even typing now, right? You just communicate to the agent, and an agent finish 90% of the work. A lot of developers are not using keyboard anymore, right? They're using microphones, and that like very soon got me realized then glasses or G2 are like the best companion for that, right? Like if you wanted to build on the go, because obviously we have microphones array that you can pick up your command. Then we have this virtual terminal, and then you can essentially just build wherever you are. So I personally really envision this to be something that can be really, really powerful and helpful.
Essentially, everybody in the office is already trying this out. That's why you sometimes see us just holding, pressing our ring and talking to the glasses sometimes and staring into the abyss.
Yeah, because I definitely wanted to make sure our internal dev team is using it, because I was really envision them not by their desk. They might be just walking around the campus, but still being able to build. And that will be a really seamless experience. Yeah.
So you're essentially no longer chained to your desk, as you have said, and you're actually enabling the productivity to be 24/7. One cool synergy that we see here is that you can actually use the terminal to build Eva Hub apps. So actually very interesting. We have actually built a skill suite full of 11 skills separate all about Eva Hub. So everything from ideating to scaffolding to making sure the font looks right to then auditing and then build and deploy it. Everything is built into that one skill written MD. So if you're using Cloud Code, it's really simple to install that and get it integrated within your workflow. So actually now I can just give one sentence requirements. Please build me an app using the skill that I've already loaded into you. And I want it to be a live monitor of my blood sugar level and pull from the API that I have given you. So this looks good. I'm going to go ahead and have it send. And it looks like it has already gotten it. Cool. Now it's in the thinking process.
So that's like mimicking what you would have on your desktop.
Right. It's actually a one-to-one from of what's running on my Mac.
Yeah. So you can probably even kick it off from your desktop and then go outside and wait for the feedback.
So imagine you're just having lunch and just talking to your cloud and then switching between sessions as well. But very exciting stuff, obviously. Do you want to talk a little bit more about all these events that are coming up? I don't want to tease too much, but I know we have something big that's on the timeline.
We are planning on our probably first big hackathon happening in the Valley with co-hosted by AGI House. So that will happen by 26th of April. Yeah, so definitely welcome a lot of you guys to come here and build with us, to try out the terminal and also try to maybe build for Eva Hub and see how it works. Yeah.
So the theme of the day will be agents and just agents in general. And I do believe that the glasses are going to be the perfect vehicle for agents to live in, especially when we're thinking about agents that are ambient or proactive. But yeah, and another thing I want to add on is that not only for the AGI House event, we are also thinking about kind of spreading our influence in the States a little bit more. So any community-driven initiatives, we're also very willing to be a part of.
Yeah.
That's it for episode number 4. Very short, very sweet, and we'll see you next time.
All right. See you.
See you.